lesson. Today's learning goal is I can use the slope formula. So we've already talked about the slope formula and we've already used it before, but we're going to be using it in a slightly different context today. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. The slope of a line is how much a line goes up or down on the graph every time for every step to the right. Okay. Negative slopes go downward left to right, and positive slopes go upward left to right, just like this picture shows. Okay, positive slopes going up, that left to right, negative slopes going down left to right. As we said before, this formula for slope is y1 minus y2 minus y1 over x2 over x1. Again, we talked about this and we called it rise, the change in the y, over run, the change in the x values. Here it says a line with a slope of negative 1/3 goes through the points negative 5, 4, and 4G. Find G. So our slope is negative 1/3. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our equation just like we would with a normal 2 points, except we're going to use G for one of our y's. So it'll be 4 minus G over negative 5 minus 4. All of that is negative 1/3. So let's go ahead and simplify the denominator. 4 minus G over negative 9 equals negative 1/3. We're going to get rid of our denominator by multiplying both sides by negative 9. And when we do that, we get 4 minus G equals, these negatives cancel out, cross cancel with 3 and 9, get us 3, so we get equals 3. Then we will subtract both sides by 4. We get negative G equals negative 1. Multiply both sides by negative 1 to get rid of that negative sign. And we get G equals 1. So G therefore is 1. Here it says a line with a slope of negative 5 over 2 has points negative 1 and 5.5 and negative 1, 5.5 and 11b. Find b. So again, we're going to set up the equation using the slope formula. Rise over run 5.5 minus b over negative 1 minus 11 equals negative 5 over 2. Simplify the denominator. 5.5 minus b over negative 12 equals negative 5 over 2. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 12. And find that 5.5 minus b equals, these negatives cancel out, cross cancel, this is a 6, equals 5 times 6, which is 30. Subtract both sides by 5.5. And what we get is negative b equals 24.5. Multiply both sides by negative 1, or divide both sides by negative 1. B equals negative 24.5. So therefore B is negative 24.5. A line with a slope of negative 1/6 has points negative 8, t, and 4, negative 0.5. Find t. Go ahead and try this on your own. What you should have found is that t is 1.5 because we set it up as t minus negative 0.5 over negative 8 minus 4. Negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. Subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive, so I just changed it to t plus 0.5. Multiply both sides by negative 12. We get t plus 0.5 is 2. Subtract 0.5 from both sides. We get t is 1.5. So, in line with the slope of negative 1/4 has the points r, negative 4, and 5, negative 2. Find r. So this is very similar. The only difference is that the variable is for x instead of y now. But we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to do negative 4 minus negative 2 over r minus 5 equals negative 1/4. And then we're going to simplify the numerator this time because that's what we can do. That gets us negative 2 over r minus 5 equals negative 1/4. Okay. We're going to multiply both sides by r minus 5. And negative 2 equals negative 1/4. R minus 5. And we get negative 2 equals negative 1/4 r plus 5/4. I'm going to change the negative 2 into negative 8/4, which equals negative 1/4 r plus 5/4. That way we have common denominators when we subtract 5/4 from both sides. And we get negative 1/4 r equals negative 13/4. We're going to multiply both sides by negative 4. These cross cancel. We find that r equals 13. A line with a slope of 2/3 has points 2, 3, and w negative 1. Find w. Go ahead and try this one out on your own. What you should have found was that w is negative 4 because the top, our rise, simplifies to 4. Multiply both sides by 2 minus w. We get 4 equals 4/3 minus 2/3 w. Get common denominators so that we can subtract the 4/3. We get 8/3 equals negative 2/3 w. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of negative 2/3, which is negative 3/2. Cross cancel. And we find that w is negative 4. Go ahead and try this last one out on your own. What you should have found was that a equals 87 because our rise is 1,593 over 90 minus a. Multiply both sides by 90 minus a. We get 1,593 equals 810 plus 9a. Subtract 810 from both sides. 783 equals 9a. Divide both sides by 9. We get a equals 80.